So you've been learning a language for the last 2,000 years and you still can't really speak it, huh? Well, you're not alone. Many people try to learn another language, but most people fail. Why? Well, come with me. Let me take you on a journey. Oh, there we go. So no matter how hard you try, if you fall victim to any of these three things, then unfortunately, you may never be able to speak your new language properly. Number 1. Sabotage. Let me let you guys in on a secret. I do not like people. Like you are fine, but people in general, like in groups, are chaotic AF. That's why I never leave my house. Well, that and the fact that I can't walk.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
But I'm right not to like most people, because they can actually be a danger to your language learning. A huge reason why most learners quit and never reach the holy promised lands of fluency is because people discourage them. You cannot let Aunt Margaret or your friend Sean from school shit on your dream to learn another language. Because in the early stages of learning a language, you are fragile. Having someone say that, oh, it's not gonna work, or oh, you're not smart enough to do that, or oh, that language seems way too hard, or you know, this language over there is more useful, you should learn that, can push and does push a lot of people to quit. Because when things get tough, their brain remembers those comments and their own brain tries to sabotage itself saying, oh, maybe your Aunt Margaret was right. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. You're never gonna be able to do that. And you give up. Give me 5 minutes. Let's see if I can find someone that's gonna discourage me. Let's go. Hey, learning Japanese, yay or nay? Should I?
F that, I'm not a fucking weeaboo.
I always recommend that you keep your ambitions to yourself, unless you find someone who's very supportive that, you know, you can learn with, or it's just a supportive person in general. So number 2 is bad study methods and not using immersion. Listen, I don't care if you got that Among Us 200 IQ. It really does not matter how smart you are or how smart you think you are. You will never properly learn another language if you only use textbooks and apps like Duolingo. You actually need to interact with the language as it's actually spoken. Textbooks, apps, courses, they are all supplements. They are side dishes. You know, an app can be like broccoli, a textbook can be like the rice, but where is that chicken? The chicken, aka the main meal, is immersion, which is essentially listening and reading as much of the foreign language as possible. You need to create an environment where you are listening to your target language a lot every single day. I mean, let's say you want to learn Japanese. Bam! And boom, we are immersed. Music to my ears. But seriously, watch as many TV shows, movies, YouTube videos as you can in whatever language that you're studying. And of course, read as many manga or comics or novels as you can. The more you immerse yourself, the better your intuition gets at understanding how the language actually works. And the better your speaking skills have the potential to get. I mean, you just gotta dive off into the deep end of the pool, into content made for actual native speakers. Otherwise, you are forever going to be in the shallow end of the pool with your kid floaties on, you know, using Duolingo or something. Oh, no shade. Number 3, going against the dopamine current and not being consistent. Never, I mean never go against the dopamine current. And always, and I mean always, be consistent. Now the consistency thing is obvious. Of course, like if you want to get good at any skill, you have to be consistent. Like whoop-de-doo, like that's not groundbreaking information there. But for language learning, it is super, super important. When you stop being consistent, your hard-earned knowledge falls away. So it's important to be consistent. But if I just told you that, you'd be like, yeah, I've tried, but I've given up multiple times. And you're not alone. It's one thing to say, oh, I want to be consistent, and another thing to actually be. So how do you be consistent? Well, it's all about going with the dopamine current. In the video I did on why most language learning apps don't work, I talked about the dopamine current or the dopamine scale. Essentially, every activity that you do when it comes to language learning or learning another language has a certain amount of dopamine or level of enjoyment that it gives you. For example, watching a TV show in your target language and using subtitles might give you a 9 in terms of dopamine or enjoyment, but talking to someone when you can't really speak the language properly might give you a 1, or vice versa. Maybe you're super extroverted and talking to someone gives you a lot of dopamine, whereas just watching content is a bit boring and you don't like it. Essentially, you always want to find the activities that you like to do the most. You don't need to be 100% efficient all the time. You can just do the things that you find fun, even if they aren't the best at teaching a language, because if you find stuff that is fun to do, you will stick with it. This is a huge reason why people, after years and years and years, don't speak the language that they want to speak. It's because they stop being consistent. Why do they stop being consistent? It's because they go against the dopamine current. They were told by mom, dad, Spanish teacher in high school, random dude on the internet that they need to do this, this, and this. However, those 3 things that they were recommended to do are things that give them low amounts of dopamine. And instead of doing things that give them high amounts of dopamine, they think that, oh, I need to do this because that's what's prescribed to me by the language doctor. And that never works. Those are the 3 things that stop people from actually being able to speak the language that they want to, even though they try their hardest. The only other thing that I can think about is just sometimes you're lazy, and that's what happens, but that's how it is. But at the end of the day, it ties back to dopamine. It's easy to be lazy when things aren't giving you dopamine, so you gotta focus on what you like. And of course, I'm working on a language learning app that is super fun, so that is coming soon. You can sign up for the email list if you want to. But yeah, that's the video. Anyways, if you want more fun, exciting, tantalizing language learning advice, like the advice that you got in this video, then be sure to check out my amazing video course. It is really, really cool, called The Ikenna Method. It is a course that walks you through everything that I do to learn languages step by step. It shows you how I've learned the 8 languages that I speak today, and it really is a course to help you learn any language in the most effective, fun, and efficient way possible. The course also gives you access to my Discord server where everyone is there just helping each other learn and keeping each other accountable, and also access to my private live stream Q&As in case you have some personal questions for me that you have. So definitely check it out. It's gotten amazing reviews so far. People are really loving it and it's on sale. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. I hope you like this little virtual kind of reality change up, switch up. I know my hairline's a bit fucked, but hey, I hope I made this video a little bit more entertaining for you guys. I will see you in the next one. Take care.